So, interesting news on the Brexit negotiation front. Now, we've often said that, and especially the Brexiteers have constantly claimed, that the EU is the master of the last minute deal. However, this just, well, isn't really true. And you can look at the EU's negotiations themselves. They are constantly negotiating with partners until essentially the last minute to do the deals. And very often, even negotiators themselves have often said that most deals are won and lost in the last couple of minutes themselves. So this idea that they are the last, they do deals at the last minute is completely ridiculous. And indeed, today, the Sun, Daily Telegraph, the Express have all been in jubilation mode that, oh my God, we're about to get a Brexit deal. Oh, we've got one over on Brussels. Well, hold on for a second. You don't actually know what's going to be in this deal. And I have been saying constantly for a while now, it is not the EU that is going to back down. It is going to be Britain that backs down. The question is who is Boris going to betray? And ultimately, I think it's going to be the fishermen. Because quite frankly, you do not want to risk the entire UK economy on a no deal for an industry that is worth 0.01% of our GDP. It, quite frankly, just is not worth it. And even in the long run, when you look at the economics of coastal areas, and especially the fishing industry, it benefits hugely from being in the EU and the single market and being in the common fisheries policy. Why? Because we've gone over this before. Pretty much all the fish, well over half the fish, shall we say, we catch goes to the EU, and pretty much the vast majority of fish that we eat is imported from the EU. That is a fact, and we've gone over multiple times on this channel and made multiple videos explaining why the fishing industry is in the state that it is. Mostly it is because the fishermen themselves like to lie and exaggerate what they are doing and what they are catching, and as a result they have put themselves in their own mess. And that's just one of the many features that are facing really the British fishing industry. It has nothing to do with the EU. It is not their problems. In fact, the EU, with its common fisheries policy, has seeked continuously to try and help and improve fishermen. The problem is, and always was that when we had those meetings, who was the guy in charge? It was Nigel Farage. So he didn't even bother to turn up to the vast majority of these meetings. He turned up to like one out of like 34 or 35 in 1 year. So once again, we echo the adage that Farage was not a fisherman's friend. However, the big news obviously today is that there is a potential deal on the table. And this comes from Ireland's foreign minister, Simon Coveney. And he has claimed that a Brexit trade deal is now likely in the next 2 weeks. So in the next 2 weeks, we will finally get to see what is on the table, what is being offered. And I guarantee you, it is not the EU that is going to climb down on this. It is going to be Britain. Because we've said it well and well truly before. Boris needs and wants a deal. Even the CBI, the chairman of the CBI, the Chartered Institute of Businesses, has gone on the record recently and said, why has the government left this entire talk up to the last minute, not blaming the EU, but our government, like the problem has been from day one, in doing this because it's left our economy in suspended animation, even going so far as to say that all the current problems in businesses are because that they do not have enough information or enough clarity about what is really going to happen. So that is someone who is not even a politician, but is an advocate for British businesses. That is very serious. And she went and said Boris was mad and crazy for suggesting that the UK would prosper without a deal. She just said that would be very, very. Hang on, let me get her quote. Where is it? Yeah. This is it. So she rejected the government's suggestion that the UK would prosper under no deal, stating that an agreement would be hugely better than a no deal. And we've said this before. We've gone over the economics of this, why it makes so much more sense to have a deal. We rely on the EU so much, but again, the Brexiteers don't want to admit that. So anyway, he continues. However, he also warned that major trade disruption would be the new reality from the 1st of January, even with a UK-EU deal in place. So, as we've said before, these new trade, it does look like there will be some form of trade barriers in place, which will affect trade, especially our trade going into the EU. So that will mean huge problems in lorry parks. Doesn't look like there's going to be completely frictionless trade, which again spells bad news for us, not for the EU. Again, and that we've already been through this. Huge complications, huge, blockages at port with lorries having to be parked in massive, Farage garages, or someone was it the Nigel garage? That was it. That was what someone said recently, in the Nigel garages, just to wait essentially. So this is going to have huge, consequences on our industry. For example, we've talked about this continuously. The just-in-time delivery systems that we have, that is essentially going to be ended, which basically makes a lot of British businesses really, really unable to compete with similar manufacturers in Europe who have access to those systems. But there you go. So anyway, this little piece continues. It also comes as the European President Council claim that negotiations are now at the most difficult stage. Charles Michael said that will we get a deal? I don't know. It will depend on what will be on the table. So there you have it. Possibly in the next 2 weeks, you will see some sort of deal being struck. We don't know what type of deal it will be, but ultimately I can guarantee you it won't be the EU that's climbing down. It will be the UK that has to climb down on something. And I'm thinking that it will probably be on the issue of fishing, because there's no way you risk an entire economy on such a small amount of GDP. It's just not worth it. So with that, please do hit that like and share button. It does help out the channel a lot. If you are new, please do hit that subscribe button. We do talk about British politics and Brexit because, well, it's going to be a long shadow that casts over our politics for some time to come. Also, if you would like to support the channel in a different way, there are links down below to my Patreon page, as well as a one-off donation link. So, thanks very much to the people who do support me like that. Your support is very, very much appreciated. And with that said, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time.